your reaction to the outcome of the trial.
Well, Ed, it's great to be with you. I think this is a huge sigh of relief for the crypto industry. We've moved on from this FTX trial or the news for the last year. But at the end of the day, fraud is fraud is fraud. And it doesn't matter what industry. It's good to see that justice is served. And we can go back to backing and talking about the builders that are in it to create a better world using this new technology.
That is sentiment, I think, echoed by a number of our guests on the show. There are those that acknowledge, however, that it had an impact right up until the jury gave its verdict because of what it represented from a sort of high to low collapse of the industry. As a venture capitalist, have you been able to go out and write checks with confidence over the last 12 months into startups that are working on the underlying technology or even backing a token of their own?
Absolutely. I mean, we're long-term investors. We have a 10-year fund. I've been in the industry, in the venture industry since 1999, so I've certainly seen many cycles. And even within crypto for the last 10 years, there have been many cycles. So look, I'm not going to lie, FTX and what happened there was of such a magnitude that it did impact and have an effect on all entrepreneurs, large companies and smaller companies in the sector. But what the jury showed is, 4 hours to come to a decision shows that the evidence was so compelling that people are not going to get away with this type of fraud in the industry. And I think entrepreneurs can rest easy there. And people who are passionate about the sector continue to build and have continued to build. Downturns are notorious for giving birth to some of the most impactful companies throughout history.
Nick Carter was on the show on Friday of Castle Island Ventures, and he said that they were offered the opportunity twice to invest in FTX, but they didn't feel right about it, and so they didn't. Mm-hmm. Just for sheer transparency of our audience, did you ever have the opportunity to back FTX or an associated group, and did you?
Yeah, I'll do Nick one better on that. We had an opportunity 3 times to invest in FTX and did not. So we are early stage investors. We like to see governance even from the earliest stages in companies. Look, crypto regulation's very uncertain around the world. It's getting more and more clarity as we move on over the years. But that lack of regulatory clarity actually creates more need for diligence on the part of investors because we don't have regulators overseeing these companies. So it's really important to know that other co-investors have the same kind of the same incentives we do, that we trust the entrepreneur in a sector that's new, and there's lots of capital floating around, even right now in a downturn.
Well, so where does the capital go, particularly in the context of the underlying blockchain, right? On this show, most recently, we increasingly talk about it in the context of gaming, as opposed to crypto. Where right now excites you most?
Well, our thesis from our inception at Future Perfect Ventures in 2014 was that crypto, which is part of Web3, so this intersection of crypto, AI, machine learning, Internet of Things, this collection and analytics of data as well as a distribution of data is going to be the next internet. And so just like the internet has impacted every industry, the media industry, financial services, we believe that Web3, crypto being a part of that, will impact every industry. So gaming is certainly one. I wrote a blog post recently about what we're seeing around deep fakes in the media. So one of the really great elements of crypto and blockchain is the fact that you can track data provenance. And that's why FTX is a little ironic, because the industry is supposed to be all about transparency, not about cover-ups. Mm-hmm. And so this provenance tracking of data, we know if we're seeing a clip, whether or not that is authentic data. What we need now is the intersection of machine learning, where we can collect and analyze this data in real time. So WhatsApp has 40 million messages that get posted per minute worldwide. Now, there's no way to quickly analyze all of those messages right now in real time, but we are getting there. And when we get there, we'll know that our data is authentic, or it'll at least be watermarked in a way where we know what we're consuming is authentic.